Hey, what's happening, gamers? Welcome back to the great Ace Attorney Chronicles live on KwingsLetsPlays, the craziest LP that we're doing right now in front of a live studio audience. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an episode. And special shoutouts to our friends over at Capcom for providing a copy of this game for review, walkthrough, live stream, and comedy purposes. So today we're continuing the case from where we left off yesterday with Beppo and Fairplay and all kinds of crazy characters, including a count. So, oh my gosh.
Yep.
Oh, this is gonna be crazy.
Awesome. Great to see everyone in the chat. And thanks again, Capcom, for providing a copy of this game. It's lawyer time.
Yes. So, Lord Dracula, continue with your substantiate the case for the prosecution, if you please. Yes, I'm going to drink some more wine, because I like wine. Yes.
It looks like something else.
It's good. I love the crimson color. It smells divine.
Creepy.
Ah! Having savored the rich aroma of the carmine contents of the hollow chalice, he destroyed his chalice.
Dude, that was probably expensive.
It may seem crash to crush it to dust. Pray forgive the discourtesy.
Someone has to clean that up, dude.
Lord Dracula, what? Is it cold in here, or is it just me? As you antiquated Tom no doubt says, the prosecution may not speak during a summation examination. So I honor a deathly silence and listen to the charade. It seems I overestimated the intelligence of the jury. Well, no matter. There is nothing so hard to prove as self-evident truth, it would seem. No, and why else would we grace the courtroom with our presence after all? He has creepy organ music too.
Oh, wow.
So let us proceed to the next round of battle.
Yeah, see, they're the ones doing all the Dracula tropes.
Oh!
Not us!
Bring forth the witness once more!
He got rid of his cape, Nani!
Uh-oh.
Now the gloves are coming off.
Uh-oh.
The cape is coming off!
Witnesses! I trust you heard the summation examination we have just had to endure. Yes, sir, that I did. Yes. Of course I heard it.
Oh, yes, sir, I heard it. Yes.
You shot on the end, the coachman, I believe, it's Beppo? Yes, sir, what can I do for you? If it transpires that you were in your previous testimony, you were attempting to veil the presence of a fifth passenger on your omnibus, you will be found guilty of perjury. You will be advised to bear that in mind, sir. Oh, my dear, I don't... Now then, witnesses, I hereby call on you to testify before the court once again. You explain the various misgivings brought to our attention by the defense's summation examination. Dun, dun. Witness testimony. Various misgivings.
Dun, dun, dun!
Hey, I only carried 4 passengers that night. I swear it. Well, I for one was told I had to pay 5 pence for the bus.
He fiddled on the fur, he did. And then I saw the blood-curdling sight as well. It's all too much.
I tell you, I saw McGiddle stabbing that man. Everything I said before stands. Yes, he was stabbed. Yeah, yes, he did. I think so, yes. He thinks so.
Wait, he paid the other 5?
Counsel, make sense of this for me, please. The phantom fifth passenger conjured into existence by the learned Eastern friend never existed. The confusion has arisen from the coachman's silly little concierge, right?
Kozanag?
I have no idea what that is.
Kozanag?
Yeah!
I think he's accusing him.
Beppo, explain yourself. Wait, now he's no longer... Now he's someone else. I'm terribly sorry, Guild Master. The guild's fair and 4 pence across the board, you know that. Am I to understand that you've been overcharging... Uh-oh, your passengers by a penny fare? Speaking of overcharging, we're in trouble. It's, cold. At the last run of the day is always half empty. You have been dishonest, coachman. Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, he wasn't. I know he wasn't.
You're a disgrace, Beppo. A disgrace. And your selfish actions have brought dishonor on the entire guild. Oh, thank you, sweetheart.
You're welcome.
It's you again.
Oh.
It's first.
If I may, sir. I had to pay 10 pence on the bus just last week.
What?
4 passengers at 5 pence each is, yes, 20 pence. I've done the arithmetic 10 times already, but I just can't make the result come out differently.
No, that figures. Well, it would appear that one of the after-mentioned misgivings has already been explained. So, counsel for the defense, your cross-examination, if you please. We've already had the pleasure of a protracted summation examination today. I see you intend to continue the Apollo games?
Yes, we do.
Absolutely. With my crazy eyes darting back and forth. Cross-examination. Various misgivings. Yeah, I only carried 4 passengers that night, I swear it, but, hold it. So, there were only 4 passengers on your carriage, but you didn't charge them the standard 4 pence fare? Is that correct? Yeah.
Get somebody else who's reacting. That
guy! Oh, he's reacting. Why are you reacting? Mr. First.
Oh, how can I help you, sir?
That last statement, did it trouble you in some way?
Oh, not particularly, sir. No, sir.
If anything, he's troubling me with that hat of his. Has he a greased head?
Oh, dear, sir. I hope my hat's not troubling you, sir. I'm still just an apprentice, you see.
Yeah, the hat doesn't look very good.
Dude. Mr. Naruhodo, even the witnesses can see what's going on through your mind. You must really be more careful.
I wish I were. It was that simple, but
better for her.
Yeah. Well, I for one was told I had to pay 5 pence for the bus.
Really?
Does that mean everyone on board that night paid 5 pence instead of 4?
Well, I paid 5 pence too, sir.
And I was told that I did. Yeah, flat fare of 5 pence across the board. It's not something to be proud of. You're ripping people off. It's supposed to be 4 pence. The so-called discrepancy, my learned friend, identified was nothing of the sort. Much like the phantom killer, you so desperately needed is gone, dead and buried. I'd have been happy if I'd ever existed in the first place. If it.
There's no way. They had to have charged him 4 pence. He fiddled us on the fare, he did. And then I saw that blood-curdling sight as well. It's all too much, really.
Hold it.
Oh.
This blood-curdling sight, you mean the murder, I presume?
Yes, sir.
Okay, nobody's... Okay. A loathsome sight no one should have to witness. The horror in the eyes of the man the moment his life is taken.
Oh, well, not exactly, sir. Oh, I mean, I didn't actually see the exact moment the gent was stabbed, really.
What? Good gracious, really? We have another witness who did, however. The banker was already testified to it.
Really? But...
But Mr. First didn't actually see the point at which the victim was killed. That may turn out to be very significant.
I heard the banker gent next to me take a sharp intake of breath, you see, and then I looked through the glass. And that's when I saw the horrible blade poking out of his belly, all covered in blood. Every time I see a knife now, I can't help screaming, even when I'm eating. That would do that to me, too.
I tell you, I saw McGiddle stabbing that man. Everything I said before stands. Hold it.
Did you? Did you see the point?
So you saw the defendant, Mr. McGiddle, stabbing the victim, Mr. Mason, who was sitting next to him? That's what I said, isn't it? Why does he look,
Oh.
I guess he looks okay. I don't know. It was bothering me before, this was. For example, a brief moment he hesitated before answering the question. Anyway, there was only 2 of them inside the carriage, wasn't there? Oh, okay, you can't do anything about that.
I don't know.
There has been much talk of a 5th passenger, but as of yet, 0 evidence. Then what we are wasting all this time for, eh? It's black and white. The man is guilty.
Maybe they had to charge extra because they knew there'd be another passenger.
Something about Mr. Fairplay's testimony just jars with me. I wish I could work out what it was.
I just feel like he's lying about the 5th thing. I don't know, the 5th, like, that he had to pay 5 pence. Like, why would he... That doesn't make any sense. This guy would get in so much trouble if he overcharged. Yeah, there's a net.
2, 3. I want to see how many statements they have.
They fiddled us on the ferry, did.
4. 5. So, there's 5 statements in total. We already talked to him on this. We questioned this one. Questioned this one. Made him kind of scared. There's 4.
And then this is the 5th. This is the last
this is
statement.
the last one. Yes, he stabbed him. Yes, he did. I think so, yes. Press this one as well. Hold it! Earlier you testified that you saw the moment when the defendant allegedly stabbed the victim, didn't you? Yes, that's right. He looks white as a ghost. Well, you said that the victim was on the floor and described the assailant holding the knife in the ice pick grip, correct? I suppose. I might have, you know. Yes. Put the cart before the horse, maybe. What is this? Well, I'm quite sure about most of it. I was driving the horse when I heard a scream coming from the seats of the river deck.
Oh, I expect that was me, sir.
Oh my gosh. Then I turned around, yes, and I saw it through the skylight. The gentleman was on the floor, and the knife was sticking up out of him as a midriff.
But he didn't actually see him stab it.
That's right, and the fellow holding the handle was the famous man, yes. So in short, you didn't see the moment when the victim was actually stabbed at all. I really thought I did, but when I got over it in my head, no, I suppose I didn't actually see the precise moment of the stabbing. Oh!
Oh, that guy!
Oh, what's going on, guy? Do you have something to say about that, Mr. Fairplay? Now you listen to me. I know what you're thinking. He didn't really see the exact moment that the fellow was stabbed. What are the chances of that? Are you asking me or telling me? He's getting flustered. I might be able to extract some new information from him if I answer him cleverly. Could he have just happened to see the exact moment the crime was committed?
No chance.
All right, let's go with no chance.
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, it is a little hard to believe, certainly. Unless you spend your time peeping through a skylight on top of the omnibus, that is. What? Peeping? I'm a respectable city banker. I'll have you know.
Really?
And I know what I saw. I remember it as clear as a ball rat day or something. It was a grim chance, I do mind telling you. A very grim scene. Thank you, Mr. Fairplay. Oh, excuse me if I was getting a little hot under the collar. There, my lord. I would ask you to supplement your testimony with a clear statement about what exactly you saw, please. Oh, I can do that, all right. I'll tell you just how grim it was. Oh, okay. Do you think that I'd forget the sight of those blood-soaked hands after that butcher stabbed the man? Well, that's a new one. Hold it!
Blood-soaked hands.
Blood-soaked? Ahem. Well, perhaps soaked is laying it a little thick, but... Anyway, there was definitely blood all over them. Both of them covered in it. And you saw that from the roof, through the skylight? Well, the skylight's reasonably large, so I had a pretty good view, yes. And there was a lamp on the inside of the carriage as well, so I'm quite sure what I saw. This banker's latest statement. I feel sure there's something not quite right about it. Well, we just pressed it.
When you feel something doesn't add up, Mr. Naruhodo, that's when you should have a good look through the court record.
Okay. Not long ago, there was a trial very nearly... This very trial came to an end. Somehow, we've managed to keep our chances alive here. I can't waste this cross-examination. I have to use it to bring some new facts to light.
If you're not careful when you press these witnesses, Ryunosuke, the danger is that the jury will end up believing something unhelpful, as they did before.
Maybe, but we can't let the fear of that happening stop us from uncovering important new information.
Yes, you're so right.
I need to pay careful attention here. So he's saying there's something wrong with the sixth statement, and we already pressed it, so that means we need to present evidence.
You have to look at evidence. What is the sixth statement?
The sixth statement was the one where he was talking about the skylight again. I don't want to miss even a flicker of reaction among these witnesses.
Remember, if you happen to spot one of the witnesses reacting in a strange way, don't hesitate to pursue them as to the reason.
Okay. So, one statement.
1,
2,
2,
3, 4,
4,
5.
6.
Did you think I'd forget the sight of those blood-soaked hands? Blood-soaked... Wait, the gloves are already red. Let me just double-check. The gloves are all red. There's only a little bit of blood on the inside of the glove.
I guess we could present that and see, like, what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I would... Actually, is there a way to turn... Yeah! They're not blood-soaked. It's only on the inside. If he really stabbed him, then there would be more blood, like, both on the front and the back of the glove.
Yeah, why would it be on the inside, though?
Oh, gosh, that scared me.
I think that's, like, really loud volume today.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Wait, if you lower the volume, though, it's gonna be,
Here we go.
No, don't lower the volume. That'll mess with the stuff. What you want to do is...
Can I put a band-aid on my finger? I am having a problem.
What happened to your finger?
I don't know, it just hurts. I'll be right back.
Yeah. Alright, so anyway, if he really stabbed the victim, usually there would be, like, stuff from the entry of the wound, so the outside of the gloves as well as the fingers would have blood on them, and as well as the inside. So what I'm thinking of is when he went to go help the man, that's when he got blood on the inside of his glove. So, because blood would splatter when you created a wound on somebody. That's a lot of Batman Detective Comics. So, I'm going to try presenting the gloves. Objection! Blood-soaked. Hands? Really? Well, I admit that soaked might be laying it a little thick, but... Anyway, there was definitely blood all over them. Both of them were covered in it. And now you laid into the trap. You said both. Well, I'm very sorry to disagree, Mr. Fairplay, but that's more than a little peculiar.
Yep.
What? Here are the gloves worn by the defendant, Mr. McGiddled, on the night in question. Oh, yes, right. And there certainly does appear to be a sizable dark-colored stain there. But, as I'm sure you can clearly see, it's only on the right-hand glove.
Ooh.
Oh, what? In short, Mr. Fairplay, your testimony is inconsistent! Ah!
Oh my gosh!
But no! That can't be!
So, you're the liar here then?
Gah! That's right, you were quite clear about it. You said it was both hands! Mr. Fairplay, if your last statement was a lie, it calls your entire testimony into question. You say you saw the moment the victim was stabbed, but is it really the truth? Objection. It was a simple mistake. You can't justify accusing this man of lying. Yes, it wasn't both hands. It was only one, but the fact remains. The victim's blood was on the accused. Objection.
He said both hands.
No, Mr. Fairplay categorically stated that he saw blood all over both hands, which means there's a strong possibility that this witness was deliberately trying to mislead the court. Yeah!
Oh my god!
Why I'm a city banker, for pity's sake. My word should be the gold standard. I'm a gentleman, not some gutter snipe. Upstanding members of society don't provocate, I think. He's claiming to have no reason to lie, huh? But is that really the case?
Mr. Naruhodo, if we had some evidence to explain why Mr. Fairplay might be lying, it could turn the tide of the trial completely.
So, something to show this man has compelling reason to lie in the testimony.
Why not? I have evidence, and then
Okay.
figure it out.
Sure.
I don't know.
We've got a lot of strikes yet, so I have evidence! My lord. Yes, counsel, what is it? The defense is ready to present evidence. By Jove, are you sure? Yes, evidence that will clearly demonstrate why Mr. Fairplay had a reason to lie in his testimony. Gah! Oh, someone committed perjury. Very well. I hereby call on the defense to present its evidence. The evidence that demonstrates a motive for the witness's alleged deception of court.
Well, it's not Kazuma's armband.
Crime scene photograph. It's not the gloves. It's not the carriage. It's definitely not the knife. We have the debtor's ledger. I don't know what the armband is.
Let's examine it, or...
I mean, it's a nice looking ledger.
It's not letting us open it?
This portfolio must contain all sorts of secrets for London's gentry. Gentry? I don't know.
Yeah. Oh dear. Do you really think we ought to look inside, Naruhodo?
Well, it's not as though we know any of London's gentry personally, is it? Apart from our great detective friend, perhaps. Actually, I wonder...
Oh, I assure you, we will not find Mr. Schoen's name inside.
Well, let's see what we find.
Yeah, gentry just means like the gentleman of society. It's like plural gentlemen.
Okay.
Gosh, it's crammed full of gentlemen's names, isn't it?
Well, I suppose they're probably not all gentlemen at all, are they? After all, not everyone in this country is well off.
Oh, goodness!
What? What is it?
Look at this! Do you see the name here?
Bruce Fairplay. Should that mean something to me? It does sound strangely familiar, actually.
Bruce Fairplay, the witness testifying at this very moment.
Oh yes, of course, the banker. Why is his name in here, though? Thank you so much for the new member, by the way. The 2 new members today.
Yeah, thank you, VG Shine, for becoming a member.
He borrowed 20 guineas, did he? And look, the repayment date is fast approaching.
It's possible that this is just a coincidence, of course, but this could be very useful information.
The details of the debtor's ledger have been updated to the court record. Ooh, this is getting interesting.
That's the evidence, says OH.
Oh, wait, sorry. It's all this stuff again. Probably all the gentlemen they have, blah, blah, blah. After all, not everyone in this court is well off, blah, 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 blah. I didn't mean to do this. Okay. So, we're gonna present the debtor's ledger. Take that! This is a list of debtors who owe money to Mr. McGiddle. Yes, a list of innocent victims crippled by the accused extortion. The point is, among the names of these debtors is your name, Mr. Bruce Fairplay. What? What? Mr. Fairplay, are you currently indebted financially to the accused? No, well, it's barely worth being called a debt. According to this ledger, you owe 20 guineas. Not an inconsiderable sum of money, wouldn't you say? Well, what of it? Let's suppose Mr. McGiddle were to be found guilty of murder. What would become of your debt in that case? These documents state that the loan agreement is forged between 2 individual parties. Therefore, were the creditor of the defendant here to be sentenced to capital punishment, all outstanding debts would be owed, what owed him would be annulled. They would cease to exist. Oh.
Cease to exist?
Mr. Fairplay, is it not the case that you claimed in your testimony to have seen something you never in fact saw? In a devious attempt to annul your debt of 20 guineas to the defendant? What? I can't scream in British, sorry. Order! 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 Mr. Bruce Fairplay! Yes, my lord? Let me ask you again. And be aware that your answer may have the most serious implications upon your future, sir. Did you or did you not see the precise moment in the time at which the defendant, the alleged, is to have thrust the knife into the victim? Your silence speaks volumes, sir!
He didn't see
You
it.
did not tell the truth in your testimony. All right, let's not make a melodrama out of this. Perhaps I did overstate the truth a pinch. A pinch? But it makes no difference. I definitely remember seeing blood on Mr. McGiddle's hands. Both of them. Objection! And yet only one of the defendant's gloves, which we have here as evidence, is stained. So you keep saying?
I wonder if I might be allowed to speak, sir.
Go ahead, Mr. Fast.
Right, well, the thing is, I remember seeing it myself, as it happens.
Seeing what exactly?
The blood, sir, on the assailant's hands. I think, yes, I'm sure it was on both of his arms, not just one.
But how is that possible?
Maybe because it was on the other
What?
person's hands.
What?
So that was the person who stabbed him, the other person.
It would appear that we're going to need further testimony from all the witnesses again. This time, I would like to know precisely what you did and did not see. Do I make myself perfectly clear? Yes.
Mr. Naruhodo, this is good news. The course of the trial seems to have shifted slightly at last.
Yes. It might finally have a chance to turn things around here, too. Oh my gosh. Another testimony. Witness testimony! What the witness really saw. Oh, okay. There was blood on both hands of the assailant. I sincerely and distinctly remember that. Okay. However, I suppose you might say that I didn't see the exact moment the stabbing transpired, if that matters.
I remember seeing the knife, and I remember seeing both of the attacker's hands with blood on them.
Yeah, I didn't actually see anything myself, no, not until I heard that scream. Ah! Anyway, the fact remains, there can't have been anyone else in that carriage, or we would have all seen. Oh, yeah? Oh, actually, we had to listen through their testimony. I can't present anything yet, or...
You go. Kiri says, at least Ryunosuke's life isn't on the line, right?
Yeah. Well, lo and behold. In truth and fact, not one of you was a witness to the crucial moment the crime was perpetrated. Apologies, my lord, but honestly, there was no one else inside that carriage, and my hands were covered in blood. And the man's hands were covered in blood. That much incriminating evidence is, tantamount to saying we saw the man do it. That's really not what testimony is about. Let us examine the interior of the omnibus once more.
That's what VG Shine just said.
The victim's fresh blood is clearly visible on the seat, corroborating the witness's account. Except the fact that he was on the floor, there be blood. In other words, there is no substantial nor significant change in the facts of the case. Very well. Your cross-examination, please, counsel. Okay. Yes, my lord. Cross-examination. What the witnesses really saw. There was blood on both hands of the assailant. I sincerely and distinctly remember that.
Hold it!
No, the evidence tells us otherwise. We have the gloves that the defendant was wearing on the night in question here in the court record. I'm well aware of that, sir, but nevertheless, I know what I saw and I stand by it. The man had blood on both his hands. He's defiant even in the face of hard evidence, huh? He's steadfastly refusing to admit that he might be mistaken about what he saw, but why? Your reasoning is dire. Huh? One hand or two, the assailant point remains unchanged. Minutes after the grim crime, the victim's blood dripped onto the accused's fingers. However, I suppose you might say that I didn't see the exact moment the stabbing transpired, if that matters. Don't try to downplay this. Whether or not you saw the exact moment of the crime is a matter of fundamental importance as well, you know? For crying out loud, we all know that no one else could possibly have done it. I was just, trying to save us all some time. Uh-huh. You have a loan of 20 guineas outstanding with the defendant, do you not? Had you hoped to release yourself from that financial burden by assuring the defendant was found guilty? That's not what I was hoping for. I was just a little lost guinea for 10 when I blacked the wrong horse in the derby, that's all. I was going to win it all back. There's a fixture this weekend, that's a sure thing.
Win it all back?
A little guinea or 10?
Oh my gosh.
I'm a banker. No one bats an eye if I borrow a little spending money for the weekend. What? What?
Isn't a guinea like a gold coin?
You can't borrow money from the bank if you work there.
Wait, what did he just say?
I think you may have revealed rather more about your character than you, planned to, sir. This witness scruples are not on trial here, though.
He borrows money from his own bank?
You can't do that. Proceed to the next witness. That's still stealing. Is this really how it's supposed to work?
I remember seeing a knife, and I remember seeing both the attacker's hands with blood on them, sir.
Mm-hmm. You definitely saw that too, huh? Blood on both hands?
Yes, sir. I mean, I know what you're going to say.
Okay, everything's fine.
Only one of Mr. McGilda's gloves had any signs of blood on it.
That's right.
The thing is, as far as I remember, sir, when I looked down and saw Mr. McGilded sitting beside that other fellow, I don't believe he was wearing any gloves, sir.
What? He wasn't wearing these gloves?
That's correct, sir. And I saw the blood on both of his bare hands, quite clearly, sir.
It's true that the dark-colored stain on the dark leather gloves wouldn't have been easy to see. I should point out that the police officer who apprehended the accused the night in question reported that there was no trace of blood on Mr. McGilded's gloved hands. There wasn't blood on his hands? That is puzzling indeed. This must be significant somehow. I'm sure of it.
Whoa.
Yeah, I didn't actually see anything myself, not until I heard that scream.
So the real killer had blood on his actual hands.
Hold it. You didn't see anything. Oh, yes, sir. That is to say, no, sir, I didn't. Yeah, very about I said before, sir. Very, very sorry. It was very wrong of me to make up stories, and I saw him stab the man. Aye, wouldn't you agree, sir? Who is he pointing to? I know what you're insinuating, but I certainly wasn't making up stories. Still, to say you have nothing right, wow. Still to say you saw nothing isn't right either, is it? No, sir, I saw nothing at all. Mr. Beppo, you were driving your horses. At the very least, you must have enjoyed a good view of London streets, no? I
don't know what's happening.
Oh, please. You didn't even see that. It was cold that night, you see, and I was all I could do to keep from passing out, sir. Yes, my head was fairly frozen solid, sir, to say, sir. It would seem prudent to avoid travel on the less omnibus service of London's cold weather nights. Beppo! Yeah! Beppo's in trouble. Anyway, the fact remains there can't have been anyone else inside the carriage, or we would have all seen. But they just said that it was hard to see that day. And everything you saw of the incident was through the skylight on the roof of the omnibus? That's right. It was fiercely cold that night, but the glass wasn't frosted over.
Oh, yes, I remember. I was shivering. It was so bitter.
Which rather begs the question of why the pair of you were sitting on the roof stack in the first place. Well, I don't know about this young fellow, but I couldn't enter the cabin. Oh, why not? It was locked from the inside. I tried knocking, but no one opened the door. Huh, it was locked, huh?
Weird.
That's right. It is a public bus service, for pity's sake. That's not what I call fair play.
Yes, I had the exact same experience. I tried knocking, but the gent inside just gestured at me to clear off. So I had no choice but to climb up on the roof deck and look down longingly into that warm cabin below, sir.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Well, I can assure you that I wasn't just looking down. I was glaring long and hard.
That's why they were looking into it, because they were
And that's
mad.
precisely why I can tell you with absolute confidence that if there was anyone else at all in the cabin, I would have noticed. Unequivocal, I would say. I'm not sure about these two witnesses. Could they really have seen everything inside the cabin through the skylight?
Why would they lock the cabin? That'd be like locking a cab or something.
I don't think they saw it. Remember, the cabbie or the driver said that it was so cold and there was so much, like,
he said it was really cold.
And you couldn't see.
Anything.
Yeah. So there was mist and then there's all this other stuff. I don't believe them. So they might not have been able to. That's what I'm going with.
Okay.
If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I'm going with my gut. Allow me to confirm one thing, Mr. Fairplay. Oh, the music stopped. I think we're on the right case. You were riding this omnibus, correct? And witnessed the events in the cabin through the skylight in the floor of the upper deck.
Wait,
is that right?
Small it is.
That's right, yes. In that case, there is a portion of the cabin interior that would have been out of sight from you. What?
Oh, golly, really?
Obviously, at this stage, we can't say for sure. But the possibility cannot be denied that at the time of the incident, there could have been another passenger in the enclosed cabin of the omnibus. Objection! Enough hypothetical mandering, my Nipponese friend. The prosecution demands that you substantiate your claims. After all, the scene of the crime is here in the flesh. Very well, I will uphold the prosecution's demand. You will identify the area on this cross-sectional plan of the omnibus. Oh my gosh, where exactly in the omnibus are you where exactly in the omnibus are you suggesting that this potential extra passenger could have been situated?
Well, where's the skylight?
The skylight is here.
So where was the guy? He said he was sitting.
I don't know where the murder took place.
I mean, the guy in front couldn't have seen anything.
What is this? Is this the...
That would have been where they would have seen. It has to be the back seat, I think.
The back seat?
They could have set it there because there's no way they could have seen a person sitting back there.
Okay.
That's what I think.
Okay.
I'm gonna say that.
Sure. We'll try it.
Tara and Grace says, bottom right, they wouldn't have been able to see there.
Take that!
Alright, Tara says that too.
Both rows of seats on the roof face in the direction of the traveler. Whereas the seats in the enclosed cabin face each other. Which means the visible part of the cabin which passengers on the roof of the deck can see through the skylight is as I've drawn here. Ah! That's right, my lord. As you can see, the seat opposite the one on which the victim and his attacker were sitting is obscured from view. In other words, if someone had been sitting on that seat, it's quite possible that these witnesses would have been completely unaware of it. Ah! Objection! It is quite possible some phantom was sitting there. You Nipponese have a forbidding habit of obscuring the truth with ambiguity. Ambiguity. Ah, whatever.
Ambiguity, yeah.
Yeah, close enough. I concur with the prosecution's rejoinder. In a British court of law, evidence is prominent. I cannot entertain this conjecture, Consul. That is, unless you're able to put a name to this mysterious passenger to whom you allude.
Can you, Mr. Naruhodo? How would he know? There's no way.
In all honestly, I don't know who it could have been. Who could have been in the other seat, which was out of sight from the witness on the roof deck? I
have no idea.
Well, I mean, we could always look at the ledger again. Is it possible to look at the court record?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay.
Well, let's look at it and see who else.
That's the autopsy.
I feel like somebody did this to frame the guy.
This portfolio must contain all sorts of secrets of London's gentry.
Oh dear, do you really think that we ought to look inside?
Well, it's not as though we know any of London's gentlemen personally, is it? Apart from our great detective friend, perhaps. Naturally, I wonder.
I assure you, we will not find Mr. Sholmes' name inside.
Well, let's see what we can find then.
Oh, he was thinking Mr. Sholmes would be in there.
Well, I mean, he lives in London, right?
Yeah. Gosh, it's crammed full of gentlemen's names, isn't it?
Well, I suppose they're probably not all gentlemen at all, are they? After all, not everyone in this country is well off.
I guess we look more into it, or
That's...
maybe look at the other page.
I've looked at both pages before. I'm just gonna present this. I have an inkling. We're just gonna... I understand, my lord. The defense would like to put forward a name. How do you get another chalice? You are a fool.
I have no idea.
The response was a desperate attempt by a man who has no notion of his own limitations. A toast to hard lessons not yet learned. Let us not delay, counsel. The defense is still to name the passenger in the other seat. Ow. This could be it. This could be the chance I've been waiting for to turn the trial in my favor. On that night, on the night of the murder, the person occupying the seat in the omnibus cabin that was obscured from view was... I mean...
Well, not Susato. Maybe it was... Males.
I don't really see anybody.
Can we, like, examine... Can we examine some of them, or...
Well, that's the dead guy.
Can we read... Who is that guy with the glasses?
Where? That's the dead guy.
Oh. Who's the prosecutor? Who's the guy right next to Susato?
That's the justice guy. I don't think he was in there.
Maybe... well, it couldn't have been that Bruce Fairplay because he was on top.
Yeah.
Maybe... Remember they said that the prosecutor hasn't been prosecuting for 5 years?
The prosecutor?
Maybe it's him.
You could have... Oh my gosh. This is gonna be bad. Okay, we'll try the prosecutor.
I don't know. I mean, why else would he come back?
Yes. Concealed in the blind spot of the cabin that night was none other than this unexpected passenger. Whatever so-called logic you use to arrive at this conclusion, it matters not. Because your answer has made one thing abundantly clear. The real blind spot is inside your head, and it would appear to be unusually large. Yeah, that doesn't work. We're missing something. You could have just said that's not right. Oh, that's you, Ember.
Mr. Naruhodo! Our task here is to defend Mr. McGilded. And we are working on assumption that he is innocent of this crime.
Oh yeah, of course, why?
That must mean then there was someone else inside the omnibus with Mr. McGilded, the true culprit.
That's right, exactly what I've been... Oh! Of course! So the two people sitting inside the cabin that the witnesses saw through the skylight that night... Whoops.
They were the victim and the real culprit.
They were the victim and the real culprit.
It does seem as though we've all been making a false assumption.
The witnesses we weren't looking at Mr. McGiddle at all, meaning he was to have been sitting somewhere else. Let's not delay, counsel. The defense is still to name the passenger in the other seat. Okay, I might need some help, chat. We only have a few strikes left.
The person in the opposite seat was Mr. McGilded. No, it wasn't. No. Wait.
This could be it. This could be the chance I've been waiting for to turn this trial in my favor.
It is Mr. McGilded.
On the night of the murder, the person occupying the seat in the omnibus cabin that was obscured from view was...
Mr. McGilded!
It has to be.
It was him. That means the people they saw wasn't him.
Okay.
McGriddle.
I'm gonna save first, just in case. Saving. Okay.
This is getting so good.
Amber says it's Mr. McGiddle.
Yep, Mr. McGilded.
Okay, here we go. The passenger in the enclosed cabin that witnesses on the roof failed to see has to have been Mr. Magnus McGiddle. Mr.
McGilded?
What are you talking about, Consul? That's the name of the defendant. What? Objection. Oh my gosh. If I desecrate this chamber... If I desecrate this chamber by smashing my hallowed chalice, do forgive the discourtesy. Lord Van Zix! People talk of those tiny island nations in the Far East as having a learned and culture of their own. But I see they use the terms ill-advisedly. What are you trying to insinuate? Let me explain in terms that even a student, as in artless backwater such as yourself, might understand.
Wow.
When the bloody scene unfolded, the victim and his assailant were sitting side by side. Multiple witnesses have attested to the fact. It is the very premise on which this case is built. Objection! But that premise may be wrong. What? If the victim really was sitting beside Mr. McGiddle, it creates an inconsistency that can't be reconciled in any way.
The gloves.
What inconsistency, Counsel? Well, the defendant's gloves, my lord. Both witnesses made the same testimony. They claim that there was blood on both hands of the person sitting next to the victim. Objection! Yet we know the truth to be otherwise. Only one glove bears the gory remains. Objection! The point is, even in the face of this irrefutable evidence, both witnesses have maintained their stance. Yes, their testimony remains unchanged, actually. Exactly. They both adamantly swear that they clearly remember seeing blood on both hands of the assailant. In short, their memory of the events is correct, and their testimony reveals the truth. What? It was somebody else sitting beside the victim that night, a third party we have yet to identify. And the victim's blood was on that passenger's hands, both of them! Objection!
Oh!
And who is this third party? Obviously, the true culprit. Extraordinary! Whoa!
Jinx.
Order! Order! I will have order! What are you exactly... what exactly are you postulating? Objection! The defense postulation is just that, nothing more than conjecture. The witnesses have clearly stated that they saw the accused. Objection!
Yeah!
But when elaborating on his testimony, Mr. Fairplay said the two of them were wearing hats, and I couldn't exactly make out their faces. Yes, the tops of their heads were obscured by the roof. I could see the rest of them, though.
Yes, that's right. Both gents were most certainly hatted. Hatters do tend to notice such things, sir.
Hatters. And what peculiar styles of hat did the two gentlemen spout, Mr. Fast?
Well, I'm afraid I don't remember that.
Can you call yourself a hatter? The style of the hat makes no difference, and there was no third passenger in that cabin. How can you be so sure? Because if there had been, the accused Mr. McGiddle would undoubtedly have offered to dispose the fact.
But he was sleeping. He was sleeping.
Unless, that is, you are proposing an even more preposterous explanation. That the accused failed to even notice the presence of the true culprit in the very cabin in which he traveled. Ah! He was sleeping.
He said he didn't remember anything after getting into the cabin.
He fell asleep. He said that the motion of the cabin makes him tired.
That means the guy got in after him and killed a guy and then left.
Mm-hmm. He's right. If there was another person traveling in the enclosed cabin of the omnibus, it's inconceivable that Mr. McGiddle would have been unaware of it. Order! There's clearly a simple solution to this problem. Bring the accused, Mr. McGiddle, to the stand. Well, what say you, Consul? The prosecution objects, my lord. On what grounds? Is a suspect. He would have already made the full statement to the police. But what if there's some reason why he's unable to speak freely? No, Magnus McGiddle is no uneducated ruffian. Huh? If indeed it turns out the man has been withholding information, you can be sure it would have been the most deliberate of acts. Counsel, for the defense, what is your opinion? My lord, should we ask Mr. McGiddle to testify or not?
Yes!
Yes.
Demand his testimony!
Yes, we need to hear what he has to say in order to find out the truth. Excuse me, Your Honor, the defense would like to call Mr. McGiddle to the stand. In that case, I would like to hear the opinion of the jury.
Oh, yes, sir, but I need a little time to consider this, then. If you ask me, I think we should hear what Mr. McGiddle has to say, then.
Get the man out here, I say!
It would be utterly illogical to hear his testimony.
Do not.
I mean, do not.
When something needs doing, get it done. That's how things run at the guild.
Ah, hearing what the patron of the favorite little park has to say. Oh, yes, that would be lovely. Yes, the jury says the man must be heard, then.
Very well, the court will hear the defendant's testimony. Bailiff, show the defendant to the stand at once. Dun, dun, dun.
Ta-da!
Now, maybe now what actually happened that night will finally become clear.
Ooh. Great job, honey. You're
Thank
doing
you.
Great.
So far, so good.
You have a lot of voices.
Let proceedings be resumed.
That's right.
Mr. McGiddle, have you been listening to the discourse of the day?
I forgot what his voice was.
To be sure I have, my lord. There are now two matters of which the court desires to hear from you. The first is whether or not there was a third party with you in the omnibus cabin as proposed by the defense. The second is that if such a person was indeed present, why did you conceal the fact from the police? Begad now, 'tis not in my nature to hide anything at all. Just an answer the question, please, you buffoon. The truth of the matter is, I've been desperate about this all along. Do I tell yous all or keep me mouth shut? Tell us what, Mr. McGiddle? Yes. The fine fellow representing me is absolutely right. In the carriage on the night, with myself and the other man, there was another passenger. It's true? Aye, and 'twas me who helped the little urchin get away after it all happened. You? What?
What? Why would he do that?
No, Magnus McGiddle, that convenient excuse can't save you now. I'm truly sorry I am, Lord Van Zeeks. I'm sure you'll be waiting to know why I said nothing when I was taken into the police. I do be having a very good reason, I assure you. Which was exactly... Well, the little child was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. Not in any way involved, you see. What? If the police had known the wee one was there, they'd have assumed she'd done it. They'd have hauled her into this here courtroom just like myself. It was only trying to spare her that. Young hearts and young minds are easily damaged, my lord.
What? So he was trying to help a girl?
And who was this young child of whom you speak? That I don't know. You don't know? Aye, well, the way thing just happened to be in the carriage that night. I never saw her before or since. Objection! Oh, sorry. Objection! We have absolutely no reason to believe this man. The prosecution calls for a witness statement to be disregarded by the court. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if the urchin isn't here in this courtroom as we speak, listening to the proceedings. What?
What? Bang!
Smoke! Fire! There's a fire! Look, someone's trying to get away! It's no use! I can't see anything through all this smoke! What is going on?
Be careful, Mr. Naruhodo! Cover your face!
Bailiff, don't let the accused escape! Secure the omnibus! I hereby call an emergency recess! Bailiff, ensure the defendant is in custody and clear the courtroom!
Oh my gosh.
Wow!
He said...
We were hurriedly removed from the smoke-filled courtroom by the bailiff. And amid the scene of chaos, as people stumbled over one another in their desperate attempt to flee the chamber, we had no idea what was happening. All we knew was that for the time being at least, the trial was suspended. Oh my gosh. Well, it says to be continued. How long have we been streaming?
Let's see, we started at... darn it.
It's only been an hour.
We started at 4:20. It's now 5. Yeah, we can just keep going.
We'll keep going a little bit, and then when it gets too long, we'll pause it. Okay, so, woo! Because there's going to be exposition before the start of the trial, anyway. I think.
Yeah, guys, we'll go for at least another half an hour or 40 minutes.
18th of February, Kwing's birthday, 12:52. The Old Bailey, defendant's antechamber. Cool. What on earth just happened in there?
Mr. Naruhodo, I've managed to find out what happened.
Huh? What is it, Miss Susie?
I was told it was an advanced form of smoke grenade, a type of exploding device that releases smoke.
A smoke grenade? Is it? It sounds like some sort of things ninjas use.
They're just making sure everything is safe now. I think the trial will start again before long.
But who would have done something like that?
The police managed to catch someone who was trying to flee the courtroom, apparently.
Flee the courtroom? Why?
Well, it's a young girl of around 15, I hear.
A young girl? Then could it be the other passenger that Mr. McGiddle was talking about?
My thoughts exactly.
So he wasn't lying. Oh, what's become of Mr. McGiddle, actually? There were so many things I need to ask him about, but he's not here.
I think he was summoned to the prosecutor's antechamber to answer more questions. Along with a young girl.
Who is she, I wonder? And what was she even doing here at the trial? She was taking a huge risk, and for what possible benefit to herself?
There's another matter that's troubling me.
What's that?
The 20 pence.
Huh? Oh,
According to the coachman, Mr. Beppo,
yes?
he took 4 passengers that night at a fare of 5 pence each. That comes to a total of 20 pence exactly. But now it seems there were in fact 5 passengers. Which means the figures don't seem to add up again.
She's right. That is strange. Counsel of the defense, kindly proceed into the courtroom. The trial will recommence in 5 minutes. Oh, thank you, officer. We'll go in straight away.
Well, Whoever she is, I imagine this young girl will be asked to take the stand and testify now. I can't really imagine what she's going to say, but it could alter the whole direction of the trial.
Well, we'll know soon enough, Miss Susie.
Thank you. Yes. My name is Susato, but you can call me Susie Ryunosuke.
18th of February, Kwing's birthday, 1 p.m. The Old Bailey courtroom.
Whoa.
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 Whoa! This is getting intense!
Nope, she has a hat on. There's the young girl next to Mr. McGiddle.
Oh, wow.
She must have been the one who caused the disturbance before. Well, after that rather eventful recess, the court will now resume the trial of Magnus McGiddle. Now then, Lord Van Zeeks. My lord, I believe you have established the cause of the smoke which veiled the proceedings earlier. It seems to have been an advanced form of smoke grenade, of sort of typically employed by the army. Good gracious, the army? What in the devil's name? It was an elaborate attempt by the young girl to cloak her escape from the public gallery, but she was caught. It now occupies the stand. Your name, girl? Are you responsible for the smoke grenade which induced such pandemonium here in my courtroom? What is the meaning of this deplorable behavior? If I may, my lord. Yes, Mr. McGiddle? I think perhaps I ought to explain here why it is that this wee lass here is in the first place, and why she tried to bolt like that. 'Tis all tied up with the events of that night, so it is. Very well, Mr. McGiddle, give your testimony. You will explain to the court exactly how this young woman is involved in the case. Just what did happen that night? It's not like a defense lawyer needs that information or anything.
I know. How come that only the prosecution gets to talk to them?
Yeah, I know, right? Witness testimony. The young girl. On the night in question, I took the back seat in the omnibus and promptly nodded off. Then began a loud thud and a wee scream woke me up with a fair start. There was a fellow collapsed on the floor at my feet, so I sat him up in the seat across from me. Then I turned to find out where that scream had come from, and bless my soul, what did I find? There was a child in there, all curled up in a ball, hiding her wee self away. I remain somewhat baffled, I confess, but from what I gather on the night in question, this young girl was indeed riding in the omnibus, is that correct? 'Tis exactly as the defense counsel said. This lass was the 5th passenger, my lord. Very well. The defense may now cross-examine the witness. Are you ready, counsel? Yes, my lord. Or rather, no. I have no idea where to start.
I don't understand. Maybe she killed the guy because she was defending herself.
Cross-examination.
So if she was curled up in a ball, maybe the guy attacked her.
Maybe.
Or maybe it was somebody that, like, I don't know.
Maybe. On the night in question, I took the back seat in the omnibus and promptly nodded off. Hold it! And when you first got into the omnibus, were there any other passengers already on board? There were not. The cabin were empty, and there was no one else on the roof deck either. So you were the first passenger, as it were, I see. Aye, and that's why I took the back seat as I did. 'Tis the most comfortable, so it is. Could you explain exactly what you mean by the back seat? By all means, 'tis how you already described it earlier. I'm talking about the seat opposite of the one in which the poor gentleman was stabbed was sitting. Like I said, 'tis the most comfortable and where I feel most at ease. And of course, I enjoy gazing through the skylight from time to time as well.
Interesting.
Yep.
So he says he enjoys taking it. That's interesting.
Then a loud thud and a wee scream woke me up from Fav stop. He was supposed to be Irish, but oh well.
It's okay.
A loud thud, you say, and a scream?
We already made somebody else Irish,
yeah.
We can't change it now.
Because tis is usually what the tis. Bigora, tis, and...
It's okay. Maybe he had an Irish family that moved to England years ago and he lost his accent.
He started from the slums and then he made his way up. So he's still kind of an average man. Whoops, I didn't mean to do that. Sorry, my bad. Aye, that's right. How can I explain it? 'Twas like the sound of someone falling to the ground. That sort of noise. So you think it was the sound of Mr. Mason falling to the floor after being stabbed? Well, no, you'll remember I was asleep at the time, so I wouldn't like to say. And then the sound woke me up and I opened my eyes. And there wasn't a soul to be seen in the carriage but the fellow on the floor.
Oh, wow.
You didn't see anyone. But at the same moment, you did hear a scream. Ah, from the sheets above you on the roof deck, I presume. Not above me, no, my lord. 'Twas from inside the cabin. But I wasn't altogether thinking about the scream. No, I was too stunned by the desperate sight before me eyes. The dude bleeding out. There was a fellow collapsed on the floor at my feet, so I sat him up on the seat across from me.
Oh, wow. So he touched him.
You sat him up, the victim, you mean? That I did. On the seat across from me, I said I could plainly see the poor devil was already gone. And you wouldn't leave a dead man just lying on the floor, now would you?
I would, because I wouldn't want to be touching him.
'Tis a common courtesy, so it is. I find that a little hard to believe. Oh, my Lord Van Zeeks, how would that be? You wake to find the man lying dead at your feet in a carriage. Any normal person would hail the cabman. Anyway, upstanding member of London society, that is.
Wow.
Well, now, as you know, I'm not in something of a special line of business. The business of lending money at exorbitant rates of interest. Unfortunately, my lord, not everyone is thankful for the help I offer them, and some would see me even dead. So I do try, when at all possible, to avoid getting myself in a tangle with trouble. Are you suggesting you were just gonna leave the man there? Heavens alive, no! I was always intending to report it, so I was. Only I had a mind to find out whys and whereabouts first. The whys and wherefores? Sorry, wherefores? Right you are. There was some details I wanted to understand before anyone else got to meddling. That wee scream I heard, for example. I wouldn't your good self do just the same? Yeah, the scream he says he heard at the same time as the thud of the victim collapsing. Then I turned to find there was that scream had come from, and bless my soul, what did I find? Hold it. I'm afraid I don't understand. I'm sure you told the court that there was no one else in the carriage except yourself and the victim. So I did, sir, so I did. As far as I could see, that is. What do you mean by that? Well now, 'tis a queer thing, the wee scream I heard as I woke up. It came from, if you excuse the vulgar expression, under me backside. Good gracious!
What?
Under your backside? And when I lifted the seat on which I'd been sitting, I found there was a wee cubby hole there for storage.
Mr. Naruhodo, we can examine the omnibus ourselves, remember?
Yes, of course. The whole bus was submitted as evidence.
This would be a very good time to have a thorough look around inside.
And that's when I found her. There was a child in there all curled up in a bowl, hiding herself away.
Interesting. So she was in the storage under his seat.
Interesting. You say she was hiding herself? Aye, that's right. 'Twas hard to see in the dim lamplight, but she was all curled up in a wee bowl when her eyes met well. My heart nearly stopped beating in me chest. Ugh, you're really overacting this. Still and all, I pulled her out from under that and sat her on the seat opposite so I could have a wee chinwag with her. Speak to her. The seat opposite, huh? That's right. I was just next to the dead gentleman there. You shot this young girl next to a corpse, sir? Well, as I'm sure I mentioned, the gentleman in position can all too often find himself in mortal danger. So, I needed to find out just who this urchin was, you see? And while I was in the middle of talking with her, I heard another scream, a fellow's voice this time. Presumably, the scream was Mr. First, who was sitting on the roof deck. Right you are. I would say so, sir. Looking down through the skylight, we must have seen this young girl and the gentleman with the knife in his belly. In other words, the previous witness did not in fact see you at all, Mr. McKiddle. What they believed to be yourself and the victim was in fact this girl and the late Mr. Mason.
That means she didn't kill him either, though, 'cause she was
Aye,
under
my
the
lord.
seat. She was under the seat when he died.
I think everyone understands now, sat at the back of the carriage out of sight. Wow.
This is so confusing. There had to be a sixth passenger then.
It is certainly plausible. The defendant is somewhat, diminutive in stature, and readily confused, perhaps, with this young girl. After that, of course, with the scream from the gentleman over us, the driver released something was wrong and pulled up the horses. Thank you, I've heard enough.
Wow.
The events, as explained, are clear in my mind. However, at least one conundrum remains. Who is this girl? Her name is Gina Lestrade, my lord. She's a chancer, earns her crust among large crowds, reveling people of their purses, what's commonly called a pickpocket.
Oh, wow.
What? This girl here, a petty thief? With smoke bombs.
Alright, somebody in the chat was saying her name is... Oh, sorry.
Order! Order! Is this true, Miss Lestrade? Lestrade? Lestrade?
Lestrade. Lestrade.
Lestrade.
It's a person from Sherlock Holmes. Lestrade. Inspector Lestrade.
Oh.
He was in the movie Without a Clue. He's a famous person from the Sherlock Holmes books.
She's the
You
daughter?
can either call him Lestrade or Lestrade. I don't know.
Miss Lestrade, you'll answer the question. Oh my gosh. Ah!
Lestrade. Yep, that's what the
How
cat
dare
said.
you? What is the meaning of this? Ah! The girl! She's gone!
She left. Open your eyes. I don't know. I'm over here.
Good gracious, how? What was the point in that little sidestep?
I know what you lot are thinking. Grown-ups are all the same. This dirty little dipper, you say, slipped up and got caught on the job. She got herself backed into a corner, so she knifed the gent. Go on, that's what's in your heads, ain't it?
No, not at all. This is a court of law. We're here to determine the truth, not cast... Ah!
Look, knives are for cowards. Only thugs use weapons like that. All I need for what I need to do is these fingers. I'm a professional, all right. Maybe not in your eyes, but I got pride in what I do.
Let me guess. You don't count smoke guns among weapons for thugs. Oh no.
Oh, this? Yeah. This was in a bag and I lifted the other day. Down where they keep the four-wheel drags. It's nice, innit? I like the pink best.
Do not wave that thing in my direction again! I quit smoking. I'm going to drink more of these wonderful crimson colors. So, you admit that you were riding on the omnibus on the night in question? Uh-oh. 'Tis all right, lass. You can tell him the truth now.
All right, yeah. It's just like the Irishman said. I mean,
oh, crap.
The guy would. There used to be Irish. He has a Cockney accent now.
I'm Cockney now, yes. The court accepts this girl, Miss Gina, as a valid and significant witness in this case. Accordingly, young lady, we will now hear your testimony, if you please. You will tell the court exactly what happened in the omnibus on the night in question.
All right, if I have to.
Womp. Witness testimony. What the young girl saw.
So, I snuck inside the carriage before they looked up the horses, just like always. But it was a right old waste of time. I got nothing to show me for my troubles that night. I tell you, you can't see a blind thing in that hiding place. It's pitch in there. Then, after a while, I hear this loud bang. Nearly jumped me out of my skin, it did. And the scream just came out. It's because of that. The swell found me. He did help me get away, mind.
Yes, he let you go. I fail to understand what would let this street urchin go, Mr. McGilded. Oh, 'tis... My gosh, I know he's Irish now. 'Tis simplicity itself, me lord. No.
Oh my gosh!
No.
What happened to your accent?
What happened? I'll need to get it back. I'll just need a moment, please. Don't... Oh, okay, alright. Oh, it's simplicity itself, me lord. You see, she couldn't possibly have killed the other passenger. I knew that for a fact. How?
Because she was under the seat.
As I'm sure I said before, sir.
She was under the seat.
Show it. I was sitting right in the top. I was sitting right on top of the place where she was hiding herself. I think a demonstration is called for.
Maybe I'll be Irish and you can be. We'll switch accents.
I'm good. But that's just. And now I'm the judge. Let me do the Conkley thing again. Oi! This is where I was sat that night. The cubby hole at which you have spoken is underneath the seat, I presume. Oh, there we go, lifting it up. Yes, it does appear just large enough to accommodate someone of that girl's stature.
Yep, she was under there, so how could she have killed him?
Aye, but of course, the wee lass was stuck in there. Because I parked myself on the seat for the duration. Wait, now he's not Conkley anymore either.
Oh! He wasn't really Conkley, it was kind of his own thing. You were doing his own thing.
I didn't know he was. I should have known he was Irish. Now I feel terrible.
There were a few people in the chat that were like, the dude's Irish.
Oopsies.
If you want, you can completely change him.
No,
and make him Irish.
I don't want to now.
So you see,
that's why I let the last bolt. I knew that if the police found her, they'd automatically assume she'd done it. People shouldn't assume someone's name based on how they speak. But I couldn't live with myself if the young life was ruined, when all the time I knew she was innocent. Even though you must have realized your action would have resulted in your own innocence being called into question. Not at all, my lord, not at all.
Aww.
I knew in my own heart that I was innocent. So I thought it was worth taking a punt on my own good name for the sake of this lass's less fortunate self.
Oh my goodness. What a perfect gentleman.
My lord, this is a fine example of a man could not possibly be guilty of a heinous crime like this. I'm ashamed of myself for ever doubting you, sir.
Not guilty.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Why, calm, calculating reasoning, while I arrive clearly at the truth every time.
They're all not guilty. Whoa! Saints alive! All 6 members of the jury are leaning to the verdict of not guilty. Whoa! Not guilty for Mr. McGiddle.
Yeah. Mr. Naruhodo, this... Well, it must mean...
It must mean what?
That we're victorious!
We've won? Are you sure? Objection. I put my foot down. If the sight of my iron-heeled Wellington offends, pray do forgive the discourtesy.
Oh?
What?
This really is a consummate example of the one monumental flaw in the British judicial practices. Huh? Where the evidence and reasoning should be paramount, emotion rules the day. Emotion? Yes. The witness's last statement gives us a clear insight into his true nature. What do you mean, his true nature? Do you really think Scotland Yard would have made such a glaring omission? After the incident, the omnibus was comprehensively searched by officers of the police. Obviously, the interior of this cubbyhole, as the witness put it, was included in our investigation. Ah! The compartment under the posterior seat was full of the coachman's belongings. It is noted in black and white here in the police report. Good Lord! The evidence has been tampered with. In order to corroborate Mr. McGee's story, someone has unlawfully removed everything from under the seat. NANI?!
What? Oh my gosh.
Uh-oh.
Whoa.
Order! Order! How could such a devious what?
Devious contrivance.
How could such a devious contrivance possibly been effected? Counsel? Naturally, you must acknowledge the deficiencies of the constable. What?
The deficiencies of the constabulary.
Oh my gosh.
Constabulary.
Why so many big words? Naturally, you must acknowledge the differentialities of the constabulary in allowing these to have happened. It is so wrong, but I don't care.
Thank you, Count.
However, I assure you, when the omnibus was wheeled into the courtroom this morning, the compartment under the seat was not empty. Well, my Nipponese friend? Huh? Me? When the carriage was submitted as evidence, doubtless you examined it in fine detail as would any self-respecting practitioner of law.
What?
Pray, what did you find the condition of the underseat compartment to be?
We didn't.
Oh, to be sure, the young gentleman will be able to clear this up in a jiffy. Sorry? Go ahead, you tell the court now, fella. Oh, this all was an elaborate excuse by the desperate Lord Van Zeeks? Well, Consul, do you have something to say on this matter? How am I supposed to answer? What can I say about the state of that little compartment under the seat in the omnibus?
I didn't look. What should we say?
I don't know. Oh gosh.
I don't know, like...
we're in trouble.
We didn't look at it.
We didn't look at it. So, I guess I'll be honest. I mean, he didn't even know the carriage was there.
I didn't look.
Well, sorry. I'm a failure. I didn't look. Why didn't I examine the omnibus before thoroughly? Perhaps I credit you too much with intelligence. It seems, my lord, that the Eastern initiate is as unreliable as wine from the barrel. Huh? Uh-oh.
Oh, Mr. Naruhodo!
Well, now, it would seem the argument is moot. And the truth of the matter is, there was use all to see after all. That the cubbyhole underneath the seat is as empty as the devil's art, so it is. Why do I feel like something's not right here?
Yep.
I should like the jury to weigh in on this matter, I think.
Oh, check the court records, somebody's saying.
That compartment is designed to house equipment used to maintain the smooth running of the carriage. The guild's rules state that omnibuses should be properly and fully equipped at all times. So certainly wouldn't have been empty on the night in question. Beppo, isn't that irresponsible? The money-lending fleecer and the pick-purse are lying. Uh-oh.
Oh my gosh.
Uh-oh.
Oh my gosh.
Ah! I can't believe I was nearly taken in. The stinking rich are always stinkers. Nothing but cowards, the lot of them. What? Oh no! It's trick, of course. It's a trick.
Why didn't we examine it?
Ah!
We're in trouble now.
Oh crap. Oh crap.
We're gonna die.
Yep.
Oh, did we say before we answer that question?
A court, sir. I must concur here.
No.
Oh, the scales are even.
Luke, I hope we said.
With calm and calculated reasoning, one arrives clearly at the truth every time.
Yes, but every time, a different truth it seems.
Oh.
I thank you. My lord, I humbly exhibit the scales of justice. Clearly, a verdict of not guilty at this time would be wholly inappropriate. Thank you, Consul. But before we proceed any further is the matter of the outstanding cross-examination. Oh. Consul, for the defense, bring your questioning of the witness, please.
Oh, wow.
Yes, my lord. What just happened? The whole balance of the trial just shifted almost beyond recognition.
Oh my gosh.
The Reaper of the Bailey is at work, it would seem.
People are saying we should check the omnibus whenever we have a chance now.
Should check the omnibus. What the girl saw. And we'll have to wait until tomorrow.
Oh my
cliffhanger!
gosh! No way, Luke!
Yes way! Yes
Oh my
way! That is a great
gosh.
place to stop, so if people want more, you'll have to come back tomorrow. Uh-oh. I did it. I did it. I did the deed. If you want more, you have to come back tomorrow to see what happens. I did. Oopsies.
Oh my gosh!
Oh, Picard, what did Kwing do? Oh, no. Well, anyway, people, that's it. That's all. Thank you so much for watching the great Ace Attorney Chronicles, Episode 7. The runaway carriage thing. What will the girls say tomorrow? Well, you'll have to tune in to find out. Reminder that Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story will be today around 6:45, 6:30 probably, because that'll give us enough time to eat. And yeah, I'm going to be starting around 6:30, 6:40. And then after that is the finale of Monster Hunter Stories 2, which will be around 9 o'clock, I believe. So,
oh my gosh, Luke.
yes,
So many finales.
yes, so many finales. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. We hope you had a lot of fun. In the comment section below, tell us what you thought of this episode. And if anybody wants to provide the time codes for this trial, please feel free to help out. We do appreciate the help, as it's very difficult for us to go and make the time codes ourselves for all the intricacies of the courtroom stuff. We appreciate fan support, and as well, like, guys, the commenting helps tremendously, as well as lets people find the video on the search engine, because it sees activity after the stream. But thanks so much. I'm going to go have a awesome Arby's sandwich, and I will see you guys with Mario and Luigi a little bit later on, as well as the Monster Hunter finale. So,
awesome.
after that, we'll be doing Samurai Warriors starting tomorrow, I believe, finally, which I'm pretty excited about. Hack and slash is always fun.
Thank you guys so much for watching, and I know we put it on a cliffhanger, but it'll be more exciting to see tomorrow.
That's
and
right.
We'll be back in 30 minutes with another stream on this channel.
Bye-bye. God bless and happy gaming, guys and gals. Thanks so much for watching.
See ya!